It's good to see you.
You too, man. You
What you
too.
doing? You got your cat with you?
Yeah, this is Zelda.
Hey.
Princess Zelda. Come say hi. Come here.
Oh, she's so cute.
Is she? What? Oh, okay. Goodbye.
Aw.
Ah.
Thank you for coming and joining me on whatever we're about to embark on. I don't know.
Oh, I know whatever it is, it's gonna be freaking awesome.
Yeah. Before we start, what I do is I like to take 2 minutes and take a breather, take a meditation, and just focus on our breath, get relaxed, get ready, get comfortable. Does that sound like a good idea?
Oh yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Sounds
All
awesome.
right. Okay, let's do it.
All right.
All right, that's 2 minutes, sir.
Dude, that's the same alarm I have on my phone. The
Oh,
wind
really?
chimes. Yeah. Oh wait.
What
No,
made you
you
pick
can't
that
be there.
alarm?
I don't know. Just the most relaxing one. You can't be
Yeah,
in
me too.
there. Get out of
Yeah.
there.
So was your
Ugh.
mind kind of wandering a little bit? Did you have a few thoughts? What was on your mind?
What was on my mind was trying to prepare myself for our conversation
Okay.
and not and to remove any expectations that I might have
Oh, I love that.
and to just tell myself to be open to wherever it goes and not try and plan or think of things to say in advance and just to respond organically in the moment.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Thanks for giving me that time. That's the perfect way to start any conversation, I feel like, is with a quiet moment of reflection and silence.
Yeah, our brains are not functioning as well when we're on edge and when we're nervous and not relaxed.
Yeah, for sure.
The first thing, Morgan, I want to ask you today is who are you today? And I want you to answer this question. It can be with an adjective, it can be with an occupation, it can be with a relationship to something or someone, just anything other than your name. Okay, so who are you today?
Is it just one word though?
No, it doesn't have to be one word.
Today specifically, right now.
Right now, yeah.
Right now.
I'll give you what I am right now.
Oh, please do.
Right now, I am healthy,
Good.
like physically, that's what I embody right now.
Yeah.
It can be an emotion, it can be something that feels true, but also you can pick something that you want to be true, and
Mhm.
as long as you know that you're capable of making it true, that's all that matters.
I think right now I would describe myself as stuck on the wrong side of a glass wall where I can see the other side, but I can't get to it.
Okay, and this is something that has just kind of popped up, or have you been feeling this?
For a while lately. And it seems like every day that what I see on the other side of the glass wall becomes more and more enticing. And I feel a stronger pull to get to the other side of the wall, but I can't get to it. But I see it and I can think about it. And I'm like, I think that this would be good for me. I think this is what I need, but I'm just stuck on the wrong side.
Well, I think we can come back to that. We're gonna let it simmer in our brains a little bit,
Oh yeah,
and we're
we'll
just gonna jump
turn the
in.
heat down to low and just let it simmer for a bit.
Just a little throwback to when we were roommates.
Hmm.
I remember one day I was sitting on the couch and you walked in. I was watching something on the TV. It was like a relaxation, nature visuals, something.
Hmm.
And you sat next to me and it was like 3 a.m. or something crazy.
Yeah,
You were like, what's going on? And I told you that I was like, I'm not having a good time, bro.
I remember this. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And you talked to me for a while, and I always appreciate that. I look back on that, and I'm like, that was a really nice thing that Morgan did.
Yeah. Well, I think it was something that was just as nice for me as hopefully it was for you. A conversation I needed to have with myself as well.
Yeah, I think that we bring ourselves to whatever we need to experience, and sometimes we don't know why, but maybe later on it'll become clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to talk about free will, right?
Hmm.
And it's a pretty broad like subject. It's a big like controversial subject you could say because people believe different things about free will.
Yeah.
I just want to get to a place where maybe we can find something about it, a piece of knowledge, a piece of advice that we can apply to our lives or that might help us a little bit to think about in daily life.
Okay.
The other day, I ate some shroom chocolates.
Oh, let's go. I've done it once as well. Actually, I did it last year while we were roommates.
I didn't really have any kind of psychedelic imagery or anything like that.
It doesn't have to be visual. I didn't really have any visuals either. It was much more of a different feeling headspace.
Yeah, I did definitely have a whole different headspace, which it was weird because I went outside and I was in my backyard and I
Was
was
it just you
looking
by
at
yourself?
yeah, it was just me, just at home, and I I was like feeling really neutral about everything. It felt almost as if I didn't really even have a preference as to what I was going through, what I was experiencing. I was just kind of taking it all in as like a passive observer, you know?
Hmm. Your thoughts you were passively observing, or the world around you were passively observing?
I would say both because I didn't have many emotions. I didn't have many thoughts. It was like with this metaphor that I was thinking about, like a ship that you're steering and you've been really obsessed with the direction of where it's headed and you're constantly at the wheel and you're adjusting it and you're measuring the velocity and the direction and everything like that.
Hmm.
And finally you just take a step back away from the wheel and you just look around you. That's how it felt.
Well, and what happens to the ship when you take a step back?
It just keeps going in the direction that you last set it to, but you don't feel really a desire to get somewhere specific, I would say.
So when you were in that psychedelic headspace and you felt like you took a step back from the wheel, right? That was like the first moment that you felt like you took a step back from the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did it feel like there was like an inertia of yourself, like in the same like in the metaphor, you take a step back from the wheel, and like you said, the ship just keeps going in the direction you pointed it. To you, did it feel like there was an Isai inertia that just continued forward, even though you had stepped away from the controls, and that you were heading in a direction?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why it was weird.
Yeah. You still felt like you were going somewhere, even though you weren't driving. It felt like you were there was motion.
Yes, and that made me question like, who am I? Like what am I really? And who else might be driving the ship, you know?
Mm,
Because
interesting.
I have a few things that might be driving the ship to share with you.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, the first one is biology.
Hmm.
So I was watching this video about how life all began, and it started with some molecules that just replicated into more and more complex,
Wait,
like,
was this the Verisantium video
oh, yeah, it
about the
was.
concept in it was like the title is like the concept in biology that is like the most controversial or something like that? I
Yes.
watched I watched that same video.
Really?
Like a few days ago I watched that.
Oh,
And there was
nice.
like
That's perfect.
there were all the little like figures in it, and it was like it simulated over millions of years how many like what traits would do what, and yeah, we're talking about the same thing. I feel like to a degree it was just kind of it was like fleshing out and providing more insight and context into an idea that I was kind of already aware of, and so because I mean it was just a cool deep dive into exactly like how cause it's kind of just like natural selection, but on the like the atomic level, the single cell level. So it was just cool to see like it connected the single cell atomic level of the world with the kind of macro biological, like the way that like that macrobiology works. It just drew a string between those two.
Yeah, because it's all coming from the same thing basically. And it asks a few good questions like what is the purpose of life even having started and why does it continually like reproduce over and over and over? And sometimes I even take that a step further and I'm like, why is there like a universe to begin with? Why is there something instead of nothing? Because there's something,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, we're here when
Yeah,
there could easily have been nothing. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think something interesting to consider on that topic is there's a sense of like survivorship bias that the entire human species kind of carries when it comes to tackling that question because you have to think about it. It's like the only reason we're able to even consider a question like that is because we are and we exist. And so obviously if we weren't and we didn't exist, even if the odds were so stacked against us existing, like the fact that we do exist doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't an extraordinarily minuscule chance of existing just because in the 99.9999999% of the chances that we don't exist to then have this question and to consider this. I just feel like it's a natural tendency of the human brain to at first glance think about how astronomically unlikely it is to exist and then to connect that to something more with more intention than to just chalk it up as you know the one in a quadrillion zillion insane percentage chance. You know what I'm saying?
yes, I know exactly what you're saying, and I was just reading about this in how we assign intention and agency to objects or events in our world. We assign meaning to things basically.
Yeah.
And that includes our free will because
Mm-hmm.
when one of the examples that this book uses is when you pick up the salt to put on your food,
Mm-hmm.
um, we see it as you picking up the salt because you wanted to make your food taste better. But what about the cause and effect of the physical world making that happen? What about, like the chemicals in our brain and, like I said, the biology and just simply looking at it as atoms reacting to stimuli and things like that. But we assign it as, oh, this isn't a like a cause and effect of an object hitting another object. No, this is different because this was an intention and and this is the basis of religious beliefs and belief that, like you said, there's an intention and there's meaning, and I just find it super interesting. So the next thing that I want to talk about that kind of calls free will into question a little bit.
Yeah, because I was gonna say we should stick on the topic of free will. I think there's a lot more to talk about there.
Okay, well, first of all, some people believe that, God can see the past, present, and future, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that would mean that it's kind of already happened from God's perspective.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that that kind of says something about whether we have freedom to choose if it's already happened in some other perspective?
Well, I mean, if that metaphysical claim that there is a creative force that knows the future, I mean, that free will can't exist in a world like that. I mean, that's just one metaphysical claim. It's just one stance. So, only under that stance does free will not exist.
Well, it's interesting that you said that because there's a great example that I read comparing ourselves and God to characters in a movie. You have like a Blu-ray disc that you put into your Xbox and you watch the characters in the movie and you know the ending already. But does that mean that the characters in the movie have free will or does it not matter?
I don't, I don't know. That's a weird metaphor. I mean, because the characters aren't real. They don't. The characters of a movie don't occupy the same existential position as a real like human does. They're
You could
not
say the
they're
same
not
thing about God though, right? I mean,
if you liken God to a screenwriter who
yeah.
wrote the script of the world and but I mean it still doesn't exactly line with the metaphor because actors who are performing a script are aware that they're actors and so it's to be different.
I'm still taking the metaphor further. What if
Keep
the
going, keep
actors
pushing it.
got so immersed in the roles that they forgot that they're
But
actors?
I don't know if that's possible. Is that possible?
I mean, just pretend, right?
Just
But they
pretend.
acted out the script, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, no, they wouldn't have free will
They would
because
have the
they're,
illusion of free will.
well, I mean, no. I guess in a hypothetical world where there's an actor who gets so immersed in their role that they somehow start to believe that they are that person and completely forget of who they are as an actor. Still, I mean, they're gonna be on a movie set. Like there's gonna be a camera and like a whole crew, and they're just gonna be like how would that? It'd be impossible for them to ever immerse themselves in their role so much that they forgot that they were making a movie because there'd be a camera pointed in front of them all the time, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, okay, how about scratch the metaphor? What question are you trying to tackle with the metaphor? Let's just cut out the metaphor and go straight to the source.
Okay, so the question is whether or not time being an illusion or
Hmm.
being not necessarily as we perceive it, but all happening simultaneously.
Yeah. I absolutely believe that time is an illusion. It's a mental construct. Absolutely. It is completely individual in the same way that so like if I say the word cow, you create an image in your mind. You have you have a concept of cow in your head that is 100% unique to you. Only Isai has the concept of a cow in the exact way that you do. And my concept of cow is going to be generally a little different. Like not only just the image that I'll see in my head versus you, maybe you'll see a black and white spotted cow, and then maybe if I also see a black and white spotted cow, but there's no way that my spots are going to be in the same spot as your spots, and the grass that my cow is standing on isn't going to look the exact same as the grass in your mind, and then not just the image, but what it makes you feel when you think of cow and maybe sounds you hear like just the holistic concept of a cow that you've created in your head is completely unique to you and is slightly different than it is for me and than it is for anybody else. I think time is the same thing. Time, how you experience and relate to time and what you think of how you think of time moving is completely unique to you. And we try and get on the same page about it through language and talking about it, but ultimately language is a slightly ineffective way of communicating kind of any one of those personal concepts.
I
And
agree.
so like because like you and I could be in the same place doing the same thing, but our relationship to time and our perceptions of time in that moment could be completely profoundly different. Like you it could feel super fast to you while it's feeling super slow to me. There is no time, doesn't exist outside of the human perception of it, and the individual perception of it is what I'm getting at.
According to Einstein's theory of relativity.
Well, I mean, no. Yes, yes, time is like time actually, because that's more time outside of human perception of it.
Right.
Although I just made the claim that time only exists within a human perception of it. Because yes, I mean there are observable empirical physical properties of to time that you can actually make time move at a different speed from like a quantifiable physics standpoint with relativity. But I'm talking more the individual experience of time, even day to day. It's a concept that I feel like is best explored by Martin Heidegger in his book Being in Time, where it's purely down to the individual experience of time and how the
Yeah.
individual perception of time is different. It has nothing to do with physics. It has nothing to do with relativity, and like anything like that. It's
Yeah. I see what you're saying because um, relativity has to do with, um, like you said, physics. Like where you are in space is going to
yeah,
determine when an event happens in your point of view to as opposed to someone else's point of view, that event is going to happen at a different time.
yes, yeah.
And you were talking about, yeah, that time is going to go by faster for you. Time is going to slow down. Um,
But that's from a physics standpoint. I'm not talking about physics at all. I'm talking about the way that time is the way that the experience and the concept of time is like inextricably tied to each
mhm.
individual's
Yeah.
experience of the world. Where it's like let's say you and I are like going out to the bar, right? And we're playing like we're shooting some pool together, and let's say you absolutely hate pool, the game, but I love the game of pool. While we're playing, our perceptions of time are going to be like profoundly different because since I love pool, I'm going to be so immersed in it, and time is probably going to feel like it's going quicker. Like the 15-minute game that we play is going
Yeah.
to feel to me like it went by quickly. Whereas if you're like hating your life the whole time you're playing pool, and you're just like, oh my God, when is this game going to end? Those exact same 15 minutes. Relativity isn't at play here because we're in the same place,
No, no,
moving at the
no.
same speed. So it's not actually quantifiably going quicker or faster, related to our two positions, but the experience of time is inextricably connected to being and to each individual being.
Yeah, I like your metaphor, and there's also Einstein's metaphor, which is if I'm sitting on a stove, time is gonna go by really, really slow.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
For me, one of the interesting things that happened uh, when I used to use weed, I haven't used weed at all recently, but I don't know about you. Have you used
I
it?
smoked. I smoked last night.
Okay, awesome. Now, do you notice that your time perception changes?
Yeah, absolutely.
It slows down, right?
Mhm. Sometimes, sometimes it goes quicker. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, definitely in the same vein.
It's the human mind. I mean, it's a brain. It's an amazing thing. It experiences everything, like you said, unique to each person.
Yeah, and time is one of those concepts that, in the same way that, like I said, you and I, when we think of the concept of a cow, those concepts are similar but fundamentally different, and it's impossible for us to ever perfectly transmit my concept of cow into your brain or your concept of cow into my brain. It's the same thing with time.
Yeah,
It's the same thing with space and with meaning and with God and with any concept you can think of is,
it, you're
you
right.
know,
We all put our own spin on it. That's basically it.
mhm.
Okay, so now to put a conclusion here on free will and time, a takeaway that we can get to kind of think about in our daily lives after this conversation on free will. For me, I'm just grateful for even the illusion of free will, whether we have free will or not. I'm grateful that I'm my own person, that I can steer the ship, and I can also take a step back from the wheel and enjoy the moment. That's me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah. I
Awesome.
could go I could go down a different rabbit hole, but we can move on from free will.
Perfect, perfect. So, since we were talking about Einstein, I always bring him up because ever since I read a biography on him, I kind of have learned so much about the way that he thinks about the universe. And the way that he thought about it was that it always had simplicity and underlying laws that governed it. And he would kind of have thought experiments, and that's how he would come up with ideas for these laws. And he would kind of share them with other scientists and ask them to test them out. He's like, you guys do the testing. I'm just going to keep coming up with more ideas.
Yeah.
And I do that sometimes with laws of how we live,
Yep.
on things like how to be happy, how to manifest your dreams, your ideal self, your ideal life. And one thing I love doing is throwing out these theories, these postulates, you could say, and trying them out. And I'll give you some examples of some things that I've been writing.
Okay, please do.
Okay, so the first one is when making decisions, pretend that you're gonna live forever.
Okay.
I'll explain why. The reason that I have this headspace is because when we make decisions for the future, a lot of the times we're very short-sighted, so we're not really thinking about how this will impact us many, many years from now.
Hmm.
And another thing is we are so impatient a lot of the times that we make mistakes and we rush into things because we have this notion of I'm running out of time. I have to do this right now. We hear it all the time that life is short, so we don't slow down.
Hmm.
And that's why I've been living as if I'm gonna live forever.
So how does that change your decision making then?
So one thing that it changes is that it gives me a lot more patience. And when it comes to dealing with other people, I interact with people in a way that is keeping in mind that I want to maintain as good a relationship as I can with everybody, as if I would have to deal with this person forever. You know what I mean?
Mm. So you apply it to everybody else as well.
In this scenario, I apply it to all living beings and the earth as well, because that's a big one that we really fall short on, because we are just, not thinking about our environment and our planet, because we know that we're not going to be around to see the effects of what we're doing to it.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting to me though that you say that like wait, so repeat what you said about how it makes you think about the people around you.
So if I'm gonna live forever and so is everyone else, I want to maintain the best relationships that I can with everyone, and that means being respectful. That means being honest, not lying to get like a short-term gain. Assuming that all the truth will come out eventually, loose ends are gonna be tied up. If there's someone that you have a bad relationship with, give it space, give it time. If you've done everything you could, maintaining that friendliness with someone and the relationship is still not good, pretend like you have forever to fix it, basically.
Mm, I got you.
And in my life too, if there's things that I need to fix, I don't get worried or anxious about fixing them right away, because I know like I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
And it's like this idea that we're running out of time. We're racing against the clock. We're dying every minute. It's like these things have an effect on our decisions and everything we do, basically.
Hmm. Are you at the point where you're still having to consciously remind yourself to think and act as if you live forever? Or do you feel like you've started to kind of subconsciously take that position and not have to be consciously reminding yourself to think and act as if you will live forever, and it's now kind of just second nature?
It takes a lot of effort to put yourself into that mindset.
Oh, for sure.
If not, you're gonna go back to the mindset you had before,
Mm,
and you'll fall back into those old habits and those old thoughts that you had, like, oh man, like my career's not taking off. I don't have my ideal job. I
yeah.
don't have the things I want.
So it's still very conscious practice for you.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah. But do you feel like you've glimpsed moments where it kind of subconsciously takes root and you find yourself intuitively thinking and acting like that without having to consciously be like, how would I think and act if I live forever? You just find do you have moments where you feel like it slips in so like intuitively, naturally?
Yeah, there's moments, yeah, I'm starting to get into that habit of thinking that more. Like when
Hmm.
I'm on the road and I'm in a traffic jam, I took a wrong turn and now it's adding another 13 minutes to my route.
Classic LA.
I have to like remind myself sometimes, but it does help me to not get frustrated.
Yeah,
So I'm
definitely.
applying it to as many areas as I can in my life.
Yeah. To tie it back in with our conversation about time and how individual the experience of time is. Do you feel like as you are trying to slip more and more into that way of thinking, how do you feel like your relationship to time has changed, if it has? Do you are you starting to feel like time is moving slower, just in general, as you kind of adopt the mindset that you're gonna act as if you were living forever, or is it the opposite?
Well, a lot of the times I'm still struggling to think like that.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'd say like in the first part of my day, I'm really relaxed and really carefree, really in the flow of things. And when it gets to like in the evening time, I notice that I'm a little bit more on edge. I'm a little bit more worried about what I gotta get done, just everything that I gotta accomplish. But there's practices that are helping me with that: meditation, mindfulness, just keeping a healthy lifestyle. All these things are helping me with that. And this is just one of the mindset that I have.
I would, yeah.
I'll give you another one, which is kind of the complete opposite. Living, especially during interactions, living like every day and every moment is your last.
That is quite the polar opposite.
Yes.
How do you reconcile those modes of being? How can both of those be your theoretically fundamental laws of existence at the same
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, because they both are tools to me that achieve different behaviors and different states of mind. Living like every day and every moment is your last. It ensures that you are true to yourself and that you spend your time doing exactly what you want to be doing
Yeah,
and savoring each interaction.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like to me, because obviously that's that's like a people say that like a cliche to be like live every day like it's your last. I feel like it's always seemed very impractical to me and not actually possible to act on because if I were to truly starting right now live as if today was my last day, money would be the money that I have would become a resource that I would want to use all of it before 24 hours are up. And
Right.
so I wouldn't go to work tomorrow. I wouldn't, or I guess it's the weekend, but you know what I'm saying. I'd be like, well, I'm buying a plane ticket to go see the people that I care about, et cetera, et cetera. And that's not practical. I don't know. I get the sentiment behind it, and I get why it works for people, but that's never been something that because I'm too literal of a guy, I guess. And I'm like, if I was actually
Yes.
living like it was my last day, I'd be out of here so quick.
Yeah,
Going to
and
Fiji.
I love that it's an idea that is kind of cliche and it doesn't seem very practical or clear how you would put it into practice.
Yeah, yeah,
But for me, it became quite a real sensation because of my anxiety. That's the reason.
yeah. I think you could tie it into like what we were talking about earlier about again, it's that is a concept that means something completely unique to you. And my the way I conceptualize in my head the idea of living every day like it's your last is completely different than the way you do. And so for me, it doesn't work, and for you, it does.
I'll give you an example of like something that I did when I acted upon that, and that's the videos that I post.
Mm-hmm.
When I started posting those videos, it was like, what message do I want to leave the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the world, but the people that I care about, and what kind of a person do I want to be and be seen as if this was my last day.
Yeah.
I think you kind of also lose a need to have a lot of worldly awards or accomplishments when you think like that. You're really only thinking about your character.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another one.
All right, hit me.
When encountering struggle, remember that it's all a dream.
Okay.
When you have a dream, you feel a sense of a weird identity.
Okay.
Sometimes your identity can change with a thought. Sometimes your experience can change with a thought. And especially for those that have found how to lucid dream.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was gonna say I don't have any control over what happens in my dreams. But I get what you're saying. I think I know where this is going.
In dreams, the world around you is very malleable.
Yes. But only if you're aware that it's malleable.
Exactly.
Then you can change it. Like lucid dreaming. So you're saying suffering is very malleable, but only if you're aware that it's malleable and that you can affect it with thoughts.
Affect
Yeah.
matter with thoughts.
Well, wait, where did matter come into this? Suffering isn't matter.
Well, don't people ask, what's the matter?
I suppose they do. Yeah. Is that the type of matter you're talking about?
I mean, it's all matter. Dreams are matter too.
No, they're not. Well, I mean, I guess they're electrical signals. Is
Yes.
electricity made of matter?
Yes.
Yeah. Are photons are matter? I feel like
Matter is
aren't they in a different category than matter?
basically matter is just all of existence. It can be energy forms, it can be physical objects, it can be anything that cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change form. That's what matter is.
Yeah. So I guess dreams are matter, but the subjective experience of dreams is not matter because is consciousness matter? Consciousness isn't matter.
That's a very deep
Co-
question, I'd say.
consciousness is the result of interactions between matter, but it is not made of matter. So, and a dream, if when we say a dream in the way we're talking about it, it's a purely
Uh-huh.
conscious thing. So it's not made of matter.
So it's a different, so it's a different thing altogether.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, that's the hard question of consciousness. We don't know what consciousness is. We don't even know if it is to begin with. You've got panpsychists who are like everything is consciousness,
Yeah.
which many different interpretations of that, but some of them I could agree with.
So when we get to this point of breaking these theories, these postulates, or these laws that I'm kind of
Hmm.
throwing out here,
Hmm.
That's where the as if comes in.
Okay.
The main thing is that you live, as if you're going to live forever, as if this day is your last,
Yeah.
as if you're in a dream. I guess on the last one, I didn't say
Okay. I
as if.
got you.
I could add,
No,
I
yeah, but
definitely, I could
you
add
could
as
add
if.
as if. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
do that right now.
So it's like when encountering suffering, live as if you are dreaming, and that your experience of suffering is malleable.
So yeah, these things they're tools. They just like any set of beliefs, any set of concepts. They're things that we use to help us live better.
Hmm.
That's kind of all I have so far, but I'm kind of compiling these.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
suffering is an interesting topic for sure. I've been studying a lot of Buddhism recently, and obviously that's pretty much you could almost say Buddhism is synonymous with the word suffering. That's the goal. That's the whole thing that Buddhism is about is how to limit suffering. I'm curious, have you done any research into Buddhism and Buddhist philosophy?
I I am familiar with the concept of eliminating your desire.
Hmm.
Now, my philosophy differs a little bit because recently I've been thinking a lot about desire, and I remember there's actually another law that I have written down here. I totally
All
forgot.
right.
Okay, when you desire something, know that it will be filled.
Interesting. Yeah, that's pretty opposite to Buddhist perspective on desire.
Yes, because I'm
Or I
saying
feel like it to keep with you with the as if it should be when you desire something, live as if it will come or whatever.
yes. And Jesus said something similar. He said, "When you're those who are hungry, you shall be filled. Those who are thirsty, you shall drink. Those that seek the kingdom of heaven it shall be open to you." And I'm applying it to desire, and for two reasons. One is because knowing and having that emotion about your desire will actually help it come true. And two, you're not going to be chained by that desire. You're going to be free and you can set it aside knowing that it's going to come back when you least expect it. It's going to be filled and you're going to remember like, oh yeah, like months later you're going to be like, this is something I desired and now it's here. And I didn't eliminate the desire, but I set it aside and I said, I know it's going to be filled. Now I just have to wait.
Because each of your four Einstein postulates have
Uh-huh.
either directly included the as if or have you've retroactively kind of explained them using the term as if. And I feel like for me, the problem that I take is living as if
Mm-hmm.
requires a level it almost like presupposes a level of pretending. Would you agree? It's an act of
I'm asking you to be delusional.
yeah, in a little bit. And my question to you is, how do you force yourself to pretend? How do you like? And what if you can't pretend to believe that, or what if you can't force yourself to believe that everything you desire will come back to you, or that suffering, like what if you can't force yourself to act as if suffering is malleable? What is the action that you're taking for each to convince yourself of each of these
This
postulates?
is a great question. I think that I'm gonna give you an answer right now, but
Yeah.
the answer may change. I may have a better answer later.
Hmm.
But the question that you're asking is, how do I have faith? And this
In
is
your
something that
postulates, in your Einstein theories.
in in anything, right?
Yeah.
Because when Jesus would heal people, he would ask, "Do you believe that I can do this?" Right before he did it, and that faith is what healed them. He said, "Your faith has healed you." So how do you have that faith? I'd say it takes time to get there. It takes acting as if, all I can say is act as if you're that person that has complete faith. Because a thought is very powerful. We can get like
Because
metaphysical and
that's all we are our
yeah, I
thoughts.
mean,
So if we change our thoughts, we're completely changing the structure of ourselves.
we're changing the structure or changing the direction of the ship, changing, yeah, who you are. And today we've kind of tried to get down to what we are. Like, are we our thoughts? What is even consciousness? what is
Hmm.
driving us to do things. And I think that we're a multifaceted being. There's different parts of us that make us who we are. Some parts we are aware of that are right in the front of our consciousness, and some parts we're not aware of. Our subconscious, our biology, our just everything that we're.
The way that our culture has influenced who we are, the way that our language has influenced who we are, everything influences who we are. You know what I'm saying?
And the takeaways, everyone's experience is unique. Live as if. I don't know what else. What else, Morgan, do you have?
Seems like what we've set up is we've set up that obviously who you are is determined by so many things outside of your control. It's a very like a very structuralist idea of who you are. Like you are at the top of a whole underlying structure of being that is was dictated for you. Like I said, the cultural time period you were born into, the who you interacted with throughout your life and your biology and all this stuff, all of it kind of defines the parameters that you can experience the world from. In a way, you can as you're thinking about that, you can fall into the trap of thinking that you have no free will and that all of these structures have who that are kind of have defined that are defining the parameters by which you can experience the world are rigid and that you're kind of down this track. But what you're saying is that by kind of introspectively looking at some of those concepts and those structures that dictate who you are, and by trying to consciously act as if you had a different perspective on those things, you can alter your relationship to those concepts. And by altering the relationship to those concepts, you're now changing the parameters by which you can live and operate within the world. So it's a method of regaining some of the free will back from this very hard set parameters by which we're born into that we can experience the world
I think you put it better than I could ever have said it.
from.
You really summed it up well.
It's like I mean, really, what we're having a conversation about is the idea of manifestation and trying to create a more solid kind of philosophical structure underneath manifestation beyond what the TikTok idea of manifestation is, where it's like I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna light my candles and I'm gonna say I want $1 billion, I want $1 billion, I want $1 billion, and then yay, I have $1 billion. It's not that kind of manifestation, but it's a much more grounded, introspective idea of trying to posit how manifestation could actually work for you.
You mean it takes more than making a vision board?
Unfortunately, I think it does. I
Dang
think it
it.
does take a little more work. But I mean, there's another conversation to have in there that if you are a person, because the last question I asked was if you struggle to believe any of your as ifs, like how do you pretend? How do you change what you believe by pretending as if you believe it? Which is kind of what we've been talking about. But on the other hand, if you have those people who truly do believe that creating a vision board and lighting some incense candles will send out some ethereal pendulum into the future and do it some workings and make sure that what they are manifesting actually comes true. What is how does it work for the minds of those people who do already just truly fundamentally hold that conviction that works? And it would be actually interesting. I wonder if there's like a psychological study of people who just truly hold that conviction, if more of the things that they manifest come true than somebody who doesn't manifest, who just desires but doesn't believe in some kind of incorporeal, some metaphysical truth to manifestation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think a good place to start, maybe next time, to
Sure.
start to explore that is in our own bodies.
Hmm.
Because
Okay.
it's been shown that positive thinking, positive affirmations heal you compared to
Absolutely.
people that don't. There's the placebo effect, what
Yeah.
belief does to you.
Yeah.
So maybe next time.
No, yeah, that's yeah. I was multiple times during our conversation, the placebo effect as a concept popped into my head. It's very in tandem. It works in tandem with the conversation about manifestation, and I feel like it kind of just it operates in the same way where if you truly believe, like in the case of the placebo effect as it's applied to like clinical psychology, where it's like a, a group is told that they're being given the drug that does X, that makes them do better on math tests, but they're really just given a pill of like sodium, and then they still perform better on math tests. It's like the same question with manifestation, where it's like that group of people truly holds the conviction that they are taking a drug that's going to make them better at math, versus if you are, let's say, like you're a crazy skeptic and you're in this placebo test and they give you the pill that only has sodium in it, but in the back of your head you're like, oh, I bet this is a placebo. Like how would you? It's like if you truly hold the conviction, you do better on the math test. If you are skeptical and or if you know that it's a placebo test and you know that that pill doesn't actually have any drugs in it, it's just a pill of sodium, then that's where you get more to the question of now what you were talking about, where it's like, how do you live as if you were actually taking a drug that was making you better at math? Once you're aware of that it's a placebo, how do you then convince yourself that that you can still do better on that math test? How do you
Yeah.
live as if it's not a placebo? How do
Yeah.
you, if you're skeptical of manifestation, how do you still live as if when you manifest things will come real?
Yeah, and that's a huge question. Like I said, I think that it takes time. I think that little by little you could you could build up to that. Um, Cognitive restructuring is a thing. Uh, Changing your thoughts, you
Yeah.
know. But we can always dive deep into that later on, and maybe we'll have more answers. Maybe we will have discovered the secret.
Yeah, maybe we'll find out that the panpsychists are right and that everything is all one connected consciousness. And then we'll be like, okay, fuck, now what do we do?
Like in that new show, Pluribus.
Pluribus. Yeah. Yeah. What happens when we find out we're all a hive mind? We're forgetting about the pan that we left on low simmer.
Okay.
It's still simmering back there. What are we gonna do with it?
Okay. Yeah. So you said that you were stuck.
Yeah, on the other side of a glass wall.
I think that first of all, your desire, I believe that it comes from your soul, and it's like an indication of what you can create, not as something that you need, but a new opportunity maybe. So maybe we can start to reframe it as that.
Wait, what? I'm confused. Wait, say it again.
Your desire is kind of giving you a new direction to go in. You should be at peace and accept that desire as a helpful indicator, as, like I said, as an opportunity of something to maybe work towards, of something to help you transform.
I should I should live as if I already have that desire.
I think you should live as if you, Morgan, are capable and
I'm on the right path.
on the right path. Yes.
And then the desire will naturally come and I can put it off to the side.
Unless you do that, you will actually push it away.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, 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 okay. Okay. All right, hear me out. All right.
Whoa, what is
No.
this?
This is my mad scientist impression. This is my like crazy drunk guy that you meet at the bar who's like, listen, yeah, I need you to listen to my philosophy here. Okay. You say, okay, listen, you got a glass wall, okay? No, okay, so I'm on one side of the glass wall. The life that I think I want is on the other side of the glass wall. But I'm standing there and I'm spending so much time looking through the glass at that life that I'm not pointing myself in a direction that'll get me around the wall to the other side. And so if I turn away from my desire, I'm just like, I'm gonna put it back. I'm just gonna start going. And I'm gonna trust I'm gonna get there. Then I'll end up getting around to the other side
Whoa,
of the
whoa,
wall.
whoa, whoa. I think
No?
this is the problem. You're seeing it and the glass wall is not even there.
Whoa.
There is no
So
wall,
fuzzy,
Morgan.
huh? But there is a wall. There are tangible things that are preventing me from getting to the other side of that wall. Things
Well,
that I can't change right now. But if I wait, then eventually the sun will be beating down on the glass so long that the glass will melt, and then I can go on the other side. I'm I'm getting too crazy right here. I'm just fucking with you.
no, but you have a good point. Like you have obstacles, and you can't just get to it right now. I understand.
But if I pretend as if I live forever, then eventually the glass will corrode, will
Yes,
dissolve, and then I'll get to the other side.
exactly. Because if you feel like you're Morgan, if that thing that's behind the glass wall is gonna slip away and you can't get to it in time, I mean, that's a burden on you. That's a worry, that's a an anxious thought. So yeah, live as if
As if I could live forever.
it's not gonna go away. And if it does go away, I promise you something even better is gonna take its place.
Yes, yeah. So what if the glass wall is real? I'm spending so much time looking through the glass at what I want on the other side. And I'm not even looking at what I got on my side of the glass. What I got on my side of the glass is chill. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
Morgan, yes. Gratitude.
Gratitude.
And gratitude is another huge part of it
Write that down.
because
That can be Einstein theory 5.
what is it?
Live as if you are grateful for everything. Write that down. Write that down. Write that down.
All right. Do you feel like we've addressed your glass wall?
I think I think we addressed it in a very unique way that I need to think more about during the body of our conversation. But at the end here, I feel like it got a little convoluted in the metaphor, and so I it's but the actual body of our conversation was there's a lot in there that I need to think more about for sure. That I think is just as related to the glass wall metaphor
That's good.
as ever. So
We can keep going around in circles, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's how you learn, that's how you transform. You need to review things over and over to really like ingrain them in your personality.
I think that's my favorite thing you that we've talked about this whole time. My favorite insight.
It's just all a big circle.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
wheel of life.
I like that. Cool. You say, are you in LA? Where are you right
Where am
now?
I? No, I'm in Texas.
Okay, cool. So you back home? Well, if you're ever back out in the big city, you gotta let me know.
I will. It might happen sooner than you think. Who knows?
Sweet. Well, I'll put that desire in the back of my mind and trust that
Okay.
it's gonna come true
Yes.
as long as I steer my ship towards it. I love how we could over the course of the conversation we've constructed like 9 different metaphors, and now I'm just like piecing all of them, just like grabbing all of them together and just combining them into this crazy metaphor where we're on a ship in an ocean, but then there's a glass wall in the ocean,
Yeah.
and and I have to pretend as if the glass wall isn't there, and then I have to let go of the wheel.
No, you're gonna crash. You're gonna crash.
You're great, bro. That that
Oh.
that iceberg that we're steering towards right now, I don't think it exists. I'm gonna desire that it doesn't exist, and then I'm gonna steer my ship towards it, and then I'm gonna let go of the wheel, and then but then if we crash into it and we
Stop.
start sinking, then I'm just gonna pretend that the water
No.
is not real, and I'm just gonna sing my song while I sink slowly into the ocean. But I live forever, so it's fine. But it's also my last day.
Your mind. I mean, how do you just take all these things? See, I would have forgot if you were saying all these things, I would have kind of forgotten them by the end now. But I love that you're just, it sticks with you.
Oh man, that's fun. Yeah. Dude, check this out. Look, I lit myself for the podcast. I did some gaffing like you did. I see you got your little light back there. I did some gaffing.
That's awesome.
That's like Severance. Wait, actually, I'm now telling a spooky story. Ooh, glass wall.
Okay, scary stories now.
Scary story time. Um, there once was a guy named Morgan, and he spent too much time in his head, so he couldn't enjoy the things right in front of him. The end.
So the
What do
moral
you
of the
think?
story.
Moral of the story is get out your head and get into your body and the world around you, fool. And mic drop. All
Oh,
right, your turn to
okay.
say what's your
Improv. We're gonna do improv. We're gonna tell the funniest stories next time, okay?
okay.
And I'm just gonna put like stock footage over whatever we're saying,
Okay.
and it's gonna be hilarious.
Okay. Wait, next time or now?
No, not now, Morgan.
Okay, next time we're gonna improv the whole time.
Yes. No, not the not the whole time.
It's just gonna be an improv comedy sketch podcast episode.
There's gonna be random segments, okay? There's gonna be like a karaoke segment,
Okay.
the sketches.
Yeah. And we'll improv games. We can
Oh
ask the
yeah.
audience what
Comment down below.
comment down below.
What should we
What?
do?
Damn, that was so much fun. Thank you so much for thinking of talking to me. I hope we covered everything you wanted to talk about.
I think we did and more.
Good. Hell yes.
Well, yeah. Thank you. Like, you're the perfect person for this podcast. That's why I reached out to you.
Thank you. Yeah, the second you messaged me, I was like, because I didn't want to like message you and be like, Isai, I want to be on your podcast. Make me on your podcast. But I was like so hoping that you would reach out to me and be like, let's do this. And so I was so excited you
Oh,
did because it was so much fun.
it was.
I mean, it's basically just what we did all through the semester that we were roommates, you know? Except we were
Yeah.
both much more miserable then. Although I don't know if I'm that much less miserable than I was then. A little bit,
Hey,
but
we're gonna get there, man.
not much.
It's a work
But
in
no,
progress.
I definitely most of my fondest memories from that semester were just hanging out with you and J Rod and Austin sometimes,
Yeah.
just shooting the shit.
Just random what happens
Yeah.
in
And
LA,
then
you know.
what was his name? Josh, the sixth guy in our apartment that we never saw. Was it Josh?
Um,
I think it was Josh. Remember he'd come out and just like get a giant bowl of Cheerios and then go back into his room, and that was like all we saw of him.
dude, I've had so many roommates.
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
I've had like four sets of roommates.
That's crazy. I forgot how long you lived at Ava.
But yeah, you know, who knows when my path will take me back, and
Hell yeah. Well, I'm excited to be a part of it.
you are a part of it, and
I wish I dressed up. You got that nice button up on, and I'm just wearing my fucking Avatar sweatshirt.
I like it. You look like a professor, like a wise professor
A
that's like really chill.
wise professor of philosophy. Awesome.
You have,
That's the vibe I intend to give.
yeah.
That's the look I want. I want I want sexy academic.
Oh yeah, you got it.
I can't believe it's been almost 2 years. Like when January hits in less than a month, that will be 2 years since we first started being roommates.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's crazy, crazy, crazy.
You know, I'm happy. I'm happy where I'm at right now, and I'm
That's
happy
good.
to still have you, and we're still in touch, and
Me too.
the possibilities are endless, man.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you guys for watching this episode of The Amazing World of Izzy with guest Morgan. Woohoo! Don't forget
Yay.
to hit that like, follow for more,
Hit it.
and
Hit that
well,
bell. Turn on
hit
notifications.
that. All right, I'll put in the bell sound too.
Yeah. Then your
And
earpiece falls out again. Keep that in the cut. Keep that in the cut.
all right, we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.
Bye.